Hello, and welcome back to our Gone Solo Keyforge Secrets of the Crucible campaign. In our last episode, a lot of exciting stuff. We followed Doseep after his dramatic betrayal of Fabum and found out that he is actually working for a more secret, deeper level of the Saurian Arbitrators Guild on a secret mission to obtain information about Martian hypnotic plants. And he got a sample of that and some information, went back and picked up Fabum, who, because she was hypnotized by the hypnotic swamp, did not remember that Doseep had left. They made it to the Midnight Jungle in search of key berries. Fabum went off and fought in our first combat of the campaign, fought off some fairies for a generous supply of key berries, and then they tried to track down the Transtech shipment, but it had gone, and interrogated her potential friend Bay, but and then found out that there was something plant-like about that shipment, which meant a lot to Doseep, who realized that whatever this was connected to their secret mission, but Fabum has no idea. So we are picking back up from there, and I'm excited to get back into this. So my first question is, does Doseep tell Fabum what he knows? Is now that they've encountered this and Fabum is getting closer to this issue, does Doseep let her in on the secret mission in order to help, or is the secrecy so much that he cannot? I have no idea. We are currently at Chaos Rank 6, so we're going to call it a 50-50. Of course, it's not quite 50-50 because of the way the Chaos Rank works, but we'll see. So does Fabum does Doseep let Fabum in on the secret? All right, 91. That is a no, and it's very close to being an extreme no, but not quite. So no, Fabum or Doseep must keep what he knows secret, and that's going to be really tricky for him as they get closer and closer to encountering this thing as these two threads start to converge. So what happens next? It seems, well, Fabum's going to have to investigate. And what thread would they follow? They might be able to follow the tracks and see where the tracks lead. That might be an avenue of investigation. Or they could, you know what? Let's say that they're gonna kind of pack up for a journey. They're gonna follow these tracks and see where they lead and see if that leads them to anything. So that's where we're gonna set up the scene, and we're gonna roll our chaos die and see if something else happens instead. So let's see. I rolled a 0, which I forget is low or high. Okay, 10 is high, so no interrupt. So, Fabum and Doseep head back to the track, and this time they're going to follow it as long as they can. They don't know how far it's going to go, so they're packed for a journey, and we're going to see what they encounter. So, do they encounter something before they get to the presumed end of the I have no idea, and that is a 97. Absolutely not. No, there's nothing. So they're heading along this track, and they're looking around. They're ready. Fabum's got her tiny little Rajasaurus arm on her holster, but as they keep going on, the jungle is silent. There's nothing that comes out, which is almost worse, right, than coming up upon something at all. Dosip, of course, is following along. All right, so they get to the end of where this track is, which I assume, based on what we've learned, not that Fabum knows, but based on what we've learned, I assume this would be some sort of Martian facility. So is it a Martian facility? That seems likely to me, based on what we know. 83. Yes. So they come upon a Martian facility. There's some sort of gate where the track goes into, and I assume there would be a lot of guards. Seems likely. 61. Yes. Okay. So there's Martians patrolling and going on. So they, Fabum and Dosi, sort of take a hidden position, and Fabum is like, says, Martians? Oh no, this is bad. This is not what I wanted to run into. We're very outnumbered. Or we are very outnumbered. So I do not think we can do a direct assault, nor would we want to. We'll have to sneak in or some way. And Dosip says, yes, well, this is a good piece of information. We could take this back to the Saurian Interpreters Guild and let them know about that there is Martian involvement on this case. We do not have to investigate. We could go back. It seems such a shame to have come so far and not get as much information as we can. Let's see if we can observe anything happening. So they are going to hide. Let's see. Their stealth is not very good. Does Dosip have stealth? No? All right. So, we'll see. So, no, absolutely not. Lost, but there is a slight advantage. So, they, try to hide out. There's some sort of, large tree or, growth of these, these sparking trees that they're able to hide behind. But the Martians see them. They send out a small contingent and say, one of them says, yes, we see you there. This is a secure private facility. We are asking you to please leave. Fabum says, my deepest apologies. We were merely sightseeing, backpacking through the beautiful midnight jungle and came upon your facility. We mean no harm. We mean no offense, so we will leave immediately. Good. I thought you might. But they do get to see something. They do get, before they leave, they do get some sort of piece of information, some sort of clue. Let's see. Let's roll our story cube. Okay. So, somebody reading a book. The book makes me think of like wizards and magic. So there was that Ambermancer who Fabum encountered all those times ago. Let's say that they see the Ambermancer going in, and the doors to the gate open up, and they're able to see the Ambermancer going in, and those close. And Fabum says, "Well, that's very interesting." well, we sort of knew that silicate ambermancer was involved, but now that we see they're involved with Martians, it's an interesting piece of information, a little bit of a clue. But they can't stay here, they're not stealthy enough, so they leave and are escorted out by the Martian patrol. So they weren't able to do anything. They got a little bit of information, but still they are stopped. And of course, Doseep wants to get out of here. So we're going to raise that chaos factor to 7 as we didn't really make any big progress. So just going over my notes, we do have that local contact, Smooey, the human hermit with a fuzzy Gruen pet. So I think at this point, having kind of exhausted her other options, she's going to go find Smooey and see if Smooey is of any help. So that's the scene setup. We're going to roll our chaos die to see if that goes the way we planned. No, so that's a 4. So we're going to roll for an interrupt scene. So what is the event focus of this interrupt scene while they're on their way to go find Smooey? We're going to move toward a thread. We're going to advance a thread. Okay. And what is the action and subject? Okay, 84. Care. 76. The mundane. Taking care of the care for the mundane. And this is going to advance threads. Well, I'm not sure which one. So I've got 4, so I'm just going to roll on a D4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. Transdect mysterious target. Well, that's what we're trying to do. So I've got it. Okay. So care mundane makes me think of like someone who's just like really basic caretaker, so like a medic or a nurse. And we know that this is going to advance our getting closer to understanding what's going on with Transdex Mysterious Cargo, which is what we were headed towards anyway. So what I'm going to say has happened is they're going to go meet with Smooey, but Smooey, in his traps, we know he's always laying traps to try to capture who knows what. And in his trap, he has captured a medic from the Martians, a Martian medic, or someone who's involved with the. We assume that they are Martian. Is that the case? I don't know. Are they Martian or are there some other species? Because we know that there's a silicate working for them. So yes, it is a Martian. Babum says to Doseep, well, I want to try one other thing. I've got a local contact here who has been able to make some inroads, has been able to help me out before, so let's go meet with him. Doseep says, all right, well, but if this doesn't pan out, let's just go back. And Fabum is maybe starting to get a little suspicious of like why Doseep wants to leave so suddenly, so quickly, so urgently, but doesn't say anything, doesn't make any comment of it. So they go out into kind of more of the wilderness where they know Smooey is found. They know where Smooey's little hut is. Or maybe it's something where he's caused the vines and the plants to kind of grow and make a shelter. So it's made out of, the black vines and the black roots that shoots the bioluminescence. So it's kind of like a sort of hut just to make it cool. And so they come up to Smooey, and he's got his fuzzy Gruen, and he's petting. He said, he goes up to Fabum, and I don't remember what Smooey's voice was like, but I'll just make it up again. Says, Fabum! Oh, you're gonna like this. I got something in my trap. Come check it out. And tied up in Smooey's hut is a Martian medic kind of wrapped up in ropes or vines and muzzled. And Fathom says, perfect. All right. Now, we are going to interrogate this medic, and we're going to find out more information about what's going on in that compound. So we're going to use coercion, which, we should probably focus on the things that we're good at, and coercion is very good. So she's going to try to threaten this medic into spilling any kind of useful information. Failure, but advantage. So, this is kind of one of those weird situations. It's like, it's kind of a no but situation. So they do get something useful. Still, they take off the gag, and Ranger says, "I'm not going to tell you anything." And Fathom kind of makes, all right, you're going to tell us what's going on in that facility, or else. And the medic says, joke's on you. I am but a lowly medic, so I have no idea what's going on in that facility. I'm just there to treat, neurological conditions. We've got a lot of dizziness, and we've got a lot of, blackouts and sleepiness. And that's all I know. I can't tell you anything about what's going on because that's all I'm doing. So Fathom says, well, that's very interesting. And Dosip, of course, knows what all this is and is just sort of watching Fathom come to the same conclusion that we all know. I wonder if there's some kind of neurological compound that they're working on. And Martians, we know that they use hypnotism. I wonder if this is some sort of hypnotic factory where they're working on this. And if so, that would be a very big problem. So Fathom is putting this all together, and just needs to come up with a plan. They have this medic. Does the medic have some sort of access card that they could use? It seems likely. 91, no. Okay. So they're not going to be able to get in that way. Joseph again is like, Fathom, we should probably just head out. We've figured out what's going on. We don't need to get involved any further. And Fathom maybe, still kind of frustrated, but goes along with that. So we'll call that a scene. So I think on their way out, they'll get their chariot, and Fathom is going to want to at least fly over the facility, see if there's any other things going on. So that's the plan. So yes, they'll pack up, they'll head out, but Fathom wants to do a flyover, see if that reveals anything. So we've got to roll our chaos die. 1, so that is going to be an altered scene. So something is slightly different. 43, imprison. 96, the public. Okay, so as they're flying over, they're checking things out, and they notice that at the back of the facility, there are Martian guards taking in silicates, and looking down, Fathom sees that Bay is among them, along with some other citizens. So and they're kind of being hustled along and guarded, and so Fabum says, look, they're taking just regular people, citizens. They're just taking them prisoner. We can't let that stand. And Dosip, okay, they agree. So, they're gonna like, what are they gonna do? I guess they're gonna like fly down and like fire and try to disrupt this like imprisonment. They do have a weapon on their vehicle. So, all right. So they're gonna fly down and they're gonna shoot and they're gonna try to disrupt what's going on without hurting the citizens. Dosip's firing roll. So success and a threat. So it's gonna like definitely take out a guard or two, but also like damage, hurt one of the civilians. So they're kind of coming along and there's explosions and the guards are going flying, and but then like one of the still gets hurt in kind of the explosion. How many, like on a scale of 1 to 10, how many prisoners are there? 10. There's a bunch of them, so they're not going to be able to put them all, carry them all in the chariot. So they're going to have to come back around for another pass, and they're getting fired back on. Obviously, they don't get hit on the way back around, and now Fabum is going to try to do some piloting to come back around for another quick pass. She's able to do that, but with 3 threats, she makes a tight pass and she's able to come around, but in doing so, I was thinking, some cargo spills out. And so like a hidden latch opens and Dosip's secret things spill out. Dosip's takes another, is trying to shoot again, but maybe he doesn't get a hit. He's so distracted by those things coming out, he abandons the turret, and he goes and gets his things, and Fabum is like, I just set you up for another shot. What's going on? And he's holding the things, and she, they're flying over all these Martians, and Martians are shooting at them, and all these Silkids are like, blah, and running around. And Fabum sees what he's holding, and she sees the container that's got the plant clipping and the data pad, and she says, "What do you have? Why do you have that clipping?" And Dosip was hurriedly trying to like shove it back into the compartment, and she's like, "Wait, what is all going on?" And he's like, "Don't worry about it." And he's like, "Wait, is that why you were trying to get us back? Wait, are you working with them?" She draws the most horrible conclusion, and he's like, "No. It's something else. It's just you're not cleared for it." "No, you tell me what's going on, or I'm gonna crash this chariot into the ground." Dosip, as we said, he can't break his. He said, "I'm sorry, I can't tell you." All right, well then. So she's gonna try to flip him out. So she's not able to flip him out. He's able to hold on. He says, "Okay." Look, it's just you're not cleared for this. I can't. It's a higher security clearance. I can't tell you. You just have to trust me that I can't tell you. You're not cleared." And Fabum takes umbrage at this. She doesn't like to be embarrassed. Right. Well, at this point, the Martians will probably get off another shot. Okay, that's just a whole lot of nothing. So nothing happens. All right, she's going to try to bring it back around for another... but she's going to take it slow. She's not going to try to do a fancy trick. She's just going to try to come around and give Dosip another shot. He is able to, but another massive threat. So he is able to hit another one of the guards, but the silicates are all fleeing and scattering, and they're really endangering the silicates. So at this point, Fabum is just going to try to land. He says, "This isn't working. We've got to rescue as many as we can. See if we can make cover." So she's going to try to do piloting. So she can try to land under difficult circumstances. She succeeds. Okay, so she's able to land gently. And she says, "Get in! Get in, get in!" And Bay is one of the ones that's able to get in. And he says, "I told you not to get involved." She says, "I couldn't help it." They're not able to get all of the silicates in because there's just not enough room for all of them, and they've kind of scattered. The Martians are going to take another shot. Ooh, so they get some hits off on the chariot. The chariot takes some damage. Dosip's going to try to get some shots off. They do. They're able to blow some of the guards back with their with this, mounted weapon, and that gives them cover to take off. They're flying back, and Bay says, "You should not have gotten involved. This was a major mistake." Fabum says, "Well, why? You're being taken prisoner. Why shouldn't we have gotten involved?" And I have an idea, but I want to test the fate chart. It seems likely to me that if the Martians are using hypnotic, they're making this hypnotic product, they're using that on the prisoners, and so there's some sort of like mental block where they're not allowed to discuss or tell anybody to investigate. So that seems very likely to me. Is that the case? 65, yes. Okay, so the reason that Bay has been telling Fabum to not get involved is because Bay is under the influence of the Martian hypnotic suggestion, as is some members of the silicate community. Fabum comes to this conclusion. Yes, he says, you must be under the control of the hypnotic suggestion of the Martians. And she turns to, they're still in the air, right? They're flying back to the village. She turns back to Dosip and says, "Do you know enough about this? Do you think you could break the hypnotic suggestion?" Success with quite a lot of threat. He said, "Well, I could, but it's not here. We need to be settled. We need to be in a safe place. It takes a long time. It's not just something I could do. And then, even then, there's a risk of damage to the brain." And Fabum says, "Well, we do still have that captured medic. That what's his name? Smooey's got for us." Like, "Well, that would help, but anyway, we can't do it. We can't do it here." So they get back to the silicate village. They land. The leader comes out, and along with some of the other silicates, and Fabum says, "Some of your citizens are under the hypnotic suggestion of a Martian facility far in the distance. We can break this hypnotic suggestion, but it's going to take time." And the leader says, yes, well, I sort of thought there were some strange things going on in our town, but I couldn't quite put my finger on it. But thank you for figuring that out. Hopefully we can solve this. I'm afraid, or I fear that because of the way that we approach the Martian facility, they may try to counterattack. So we need to get ready for that. And the leader says, all right, well, we'll have to get prepared. So do the silicates who are already under the hypnotic suggestion, do they try to resist? Do they fight? It seems likely. Yeah, 59. Okay, so now that they've been exposed, the message is now fight. And so now, chaos breaks out, and Bay, among them, maybe all their eyes, glow red, and the members of the village who are under the Martian control, all their eyes turn red, and it's silicate fighting silicate, and so they've sort of streamed out of the chariot into the town, and just after Fabum makes this announcement and everything seems like it's going to be okay, the brains of half the town turn under Martian control, and now there's fighting and there's chaos, and so they're like banging on the chariot, which is already damaged. So, and the pterosaur is going grrr, grrr. So they're going to try to like at least try to get out of here, get to like a safe position. Oh, yes, okay. So they're able to take off again, get up into the sky, get to a safe position, and that sort of chaos going on down below. Fabum does not feel great about this. This did not go the way that she intended. She was trying to rescue, and now the whole village is, silicate fighting silicate. It's going nuts. And she turns to Dosip and she said, You knew all the time, and you just stood there. All my investigation, you knew what was going on, and you just stood there and watched me figure it out, and now things are a huge mess. You should have said something. And Dosey says, you understand, I can't break confidentiality. There was secrets I could not expose. When did you even get these things? Well, you've been with me this whole time. Wait, not the whole time. Did you leave me in the swamp? I thought I had a memory of that, and you said it couldn't have happened. But you just left me. And Dosip doesn't say anything. Just kind of like. And Fabum just doesn't even know what to say. She's looking down at the ensuing battle. That's her fault, but she's also blaming Dosip. And what are they going to do now? And that's the question. I think we will end this one there. That got totally out of control, so we're going to increase that chaos factor. So Fabum is now in the know, or at least in part of the know. Dosip did not break confidentiality, even though Fabum figured it out. The Silicate Village is in chaos. There's fighting, and the Martians have been provoked and are probably on their way. How are they going to get out of this? What are they going to do? This is a mess. So you and I are both going to find out next time on our Gone Solo Keyforge of the Secrets of the Crucible campaign. Thanks so much for tuning in, and stay with us.